So a few folks have asked what a typical day with me might look like. So this is your opportunity to spend an entire day with me and with this one. Hey folks, it's Finn. Welcome back, lovely people. Thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me today and watch one of my videos. It's lovely to see you. And if you're watching for the very first time, then a massive welcome. I'm honoured that you chose one of my videos today, and I hope that you enjoy it. If you are new, this bundle of white fluff is not a rug. It is our 17-month-old miniature poodle, Captain Pip Digby, who is just flaked out today. So today's video is a rather long video to get some snacks. It's a day in the life video. I decided to film this because lots of people have asked what a day in the life looks like for me with chronic illness. So I have ME CFS, which is myalgic encephalomyelitis chronic fatigue syndrome, and POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And in this video I'm sharing a kind of better than usual day, because obviously trying to share a bad day would be impossible, because on a really bad day I wouldn't be able to film. So it's not a very typical day, it's one of my better days, but in this video I'm sharing the kind of things I generally go through. I'm going to share, well, I am sharing from when I get up in the morning to when I go to bed at night, and what I do when I get up, in how I'll kind of gauge how I'm feeling, and some of the tools I use to measure my energy levels and how my body's doing, and from that how I then will plan my day, and all the different planning techniques I use to plan like a day, a week, depending on what I've got going on. I talk about all the different pacing tools I use to manage my limited energy, which comes as part of having ME CFS. I'll also share a lot of the tips and tools I use to manage my chronic illness as I take you through my day, and I can show you the effects that happen as the day goes on, and I start to do things, simple things really, like take care of the puppy, make my food, have a shower, just simple effects, as you can see what happens with chronic illness and why you have to kind of very carefully pace your energy. And I take you through how I do that and how I manage that throughout the day. But as I say, this is really not the most typical of day. I have moderate to severe ME, so a lot of my days are much more severe than the ones you'll see here, and I wish I could film the ones that are severe, but on those days I wouldn't have the energy to pick up a camera and do it. This vlog was also filmed back in January, but obviously there's lots of clips and it's taken me a long time to put it together, and it's now July, and I apologise for that. However, this is all still very relevant. The only bits that aren't relevant really now are that in January I started this new plan to gradually let go of work and to start prioritising my health and well-being, and to start getting some of my life back by just kind of trying to get out and about again, because I was losing my independence. So the only thing that's really changed is I'm not really doing any work now, but everything else I talk about in terms of how I measure my body and the tools I use and the planning and the pacing stuff I do, it's all very much the same. Other things that have changed is I've added another health condition. I've now got polymyalgia rheumatica, which has added another complicated layer to have to pace with, and obviously new medication. Steroids are added another level of fatigue. It's very, very difficult with these conditions when you're managing lots of different complex conditions. They all stack up and affect one another. But you'll see that throughout this video in how I have to kind of manage everything. And it's not easy, but it's doable. So hopefully this video will give an insight for people who don't understand about chronic conditions, the kind of things we manage, and hopefully for people that do have chronic illness, hopefully some tips and tools that might help along the way. But either way, I hope it's useful. Enjoy. Good morning. It's 8:25. I'm actually feeling okay today, which is probably why you're getting this vlog. So I thought I would finally get around to doing a day in the life of Finn. And to show you a day in the life of managing ME. But it's actually a good day today, so you're not going to get me at my worst. I'm laughing because this is how it starts in the morning. Pip sleeps in till about 8:15, and then he starts circling the bed like Jaws, telling me to get up. Pip, Pip, come on, come, Pip, come. What is it? What's this? Here he is. Oh, good morning. Is it time to get up? Is it time to get up? I think it's time to get up. Is it? Yeah. Is it time to... Yeah. I think that's a yes. So now we shall... Chris always makes me a cup of tea. I used to have it in bed, but that's him demanding that it's pee-pee time. It's a bit frosty out here today, Pip. Look. Ice. Shall we come back in the warm? Come on, come back in the warm. Yeah, you can hear your paws on the ice. It's frosty out there today, darling. Come back in the warm. Yes. It's frosty out there today, isn't it, Bubba? I can see my breath. That's it. Quick pee-pee and come in. Most important thing is this young man. To give him a bit of a run around after he first wakes up, isn't it, darling? So, sit. Yes, good boy. Can you lie down? Yes, good boy. Are you ready? On your marks. Get set. Poodle. Yay, good boy. Bring it. Yeah. Where are you going? We're not going outside today, darling, because it's too cold. You heard your paws on that grass. That was crispy, wasn't it? You gonna give it to Daddy? Daddy got it. Bring it to Daddy. Daddy got it. Daddy got it. Tuck, 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 tuck. Tuck, 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 tuck. Tuck, 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 tuck. Tuck, 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 tuck. Right, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Can I have a paw? Paw. 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 Yes. Ready. Lie down. Stand. Stand. Yes. Go. Another reason we play in the morning is so he can have his first poo. So he's had his first poo, which means that he can now have his breakfast, and that means that I can have my breakfast. So he's now chasing his kibble ball around the lounge, which is on a bit of exercise and a bit of enrichment, which leaves me at peace to do my journal and drink my tea and then make my breakfast. Look at him, hang on. You having fun under there? Do you want Daddy to get it out so you can actually chase it around? This is hours of amusement, isn't it lovely? So it's food and fun, bit of exercise, bit of enrichment, bit of peace and quiet for Daddy for 10 minutes. So hopefully the munching in the background isn't too off-putting. So now, like, what I'll do now is I'll have my breakfast, and then I'm going to sit doing my journal and working out what to do for the day, which means working out my energy levels and how much energy I've got to get stuff done for the day, what I need to get done, what my priorities are, and how many spoons in terms of how much energy I've got in the tank for what I need to get done what I really need to get done is my tax return for the year. I mean, I've not really done much work this year, so it's not actually that complicated, but I do need to get that done. So that is a priority today. I've also got a video to get up and it's almost finished. I just need to do the description and just pretty much just publish it. So I'm going to try and get that done as well. What I do every morning before I even get out of bed, I've got a couple of tools that help me to work out how I'm doing for the day, because it's often really hard to tell first thing in the morning how I'm actually feeling, because first thing in the morning it's always really, really bad. Oh, actually, sometimes it's worse than the others. I mean, I can tell, like I said first thing when I spoke to you, that I'm actually not doing too bad. Because I can tell, you know, some mornings it's just absolutely dreadful. But, I mean, most mornings it's just, like, obviously really groggy. So I've got a couple of tools that I use to measure. Now, most of you know that I do heart rate monitoring to tell how I'm doing throughout the day. And if my heart rate goes over a certain level, then it tells me I need to be careful. But I also use a couple of different apps to do that. And I wear a Garmin watch, which has the ability to measure your body battery and tell you how much energy you've got in your body battery. And I find this a really helpful tool. So what I will do is in the morning, I'll look at that and I'll look at two figures on that. I'll look at my sleep score overnight. And if my sleep score is really low, that's a warning sign that I'm not doing really well. I'll look at my body battery and how much body battery it says I've got. And if that's low, it's clear I'm not doing very well. So like this morning, my sleep score was actually quite good. It was 86. So that's really high for me. I'm lucky normally if my sleep score is about 50, 60. And my body battery is 51, which isn't brilliant. But I mean, sometimes I can score 30, 40 body battery. So it's not too bad for me. I also use an app called Visible that measures your heart rate variability. It's designed for people with long COVID and ME. I'll put a link in the description to all of this. Visible's really, really good. You put in your symptom score in the evening, and then using your camera's, your phone's camera, you put your finger on it so it takes your pulse, and it tells you your heart rate variability and then gives you a score out of 5 every day on how you're doing. And I use that a lot. I use it every day, sorry, to tell me how I'm doing. And I got a 3 today, which isn't bad for me. I'm often scoring like 1s and 2s. So if I score a 3 or a 4, it's pretty good. So I use those two tools every day combined with how I'm feeling to kind of gauge where I'm at in terms of what I can manage during the day. And then I've got a kind of basic schedule of a day outlined in terms of like breaks, blocks of time, meditation and rest breaks, and then I can fill in the other blocks of time with stuff that I'd like to do. So that's what I sit and do after I've had my breakfast. I sit and write my journal, write some notes for the day, and then fill in a rough kind of timetable about what I want to do around having breaks. And like proper breaks, because relaxation is different to breaks. Rest breaks when you have ME has to be nothing, you know, it's not sat watching telly, it's not listening to a podcast, it has to be no sensory input. So I go and lie on the bed. I've got a mask with headphones, and I'll listen to a meditation, a guided meditation, to kind of wind down and reset for a bit. And then I have relaxation during the day as well. So, you know, I'll listen to some of my audiobook or a podcast, or I'll watch an episode of something I'm watching. So I do 2 of those things throughout the day, just to try and break up the day and not overuse my energy. That's how I kind of plan my day out. So yeah, I'm going to go and do that now and have some breakfast and watch this one hoover the carpet now that he's just emptied his kibble ball all over the floor. Hello. So it's 10:30, which is around about the time I tend to come up here and sit in my office and do something. So Pip's now cuddled on the sofa and having a little nap. You can probably hear some plinky plonky music going on. He has some plinky plonky music and has a little nap, and then I come upstairs an hour and do something. I am feeling a bit. Ugh. I'm not feeling 100 potatoes, but it has been a busy couple of weeks because I'm doing this out and about thing, this priority swap where, you know, I've talked about this, how I'm now prioritising my health and well-being and getting out and about. So work stuff is coming second. So at the moment, I am more fatigued. I can see a hair or something. I am more fatigued than I've been for a while because I'm adjusting to this change. But I do need to at least start on my finances at the moment, just see how bad it is. I don't think it's actually too bad, but I just need to get, even if I just sit for 10 minutes right now and just get a look at how much I need to do, because then I think I can relax a bit, because I don't think it's that bad, but I'm worrying a bit. So at least if I have a look and see how much I need to do in it. Chris said he'll help if I need some more help. But I just wanted to show you, I've done my journal for the day. I always sit and write a journal. I've talked loads about the benefits of journaling. It just helps me to kind of get out how I'm feeling and just, you know, yeah, it just focuses my thoughts. I can just write a bit of a gratitude list, makes me plan for the day. And then this is my basic general week planning. So I'd have like the day of the week, and then I plan per hour. So I'll already have out every week what I want to do. So it will have like breaks in the day for meditation and relaxation and lunch, because I can be really bad at forgetting to eat. And I'll have a plan of like when I'm going to shower. I don't shower more than once or twice a week. Transparency, because it is just too much. So I'll plan in when I'm going to do that, and I tend to do it on a Friday so that then I'm clean for the weekend when me and Chris go out. It sounds awful, doesn't it? And then again on a Monday. It just sounds dreadful. And I'll plan in when I'm going to do some washing for the week, and then I plan in when I'm going to stay in my PJs and when I'm going to have a wet wipe. But this is what we have to do with ME CFS, because everything takes energy. Every little tiny thing takes energy. So it's about balancing scales, you know, because it's a finely balanced scale, and everything you add on makes the other side go, you know. So if I've got on here already what I need to do, my basic self-care, then the other blocks that are open, I can put stuff in. So I can look at this and go, okay, I've got this block free, what can I put in there? And I also then have to think about like whether it's physical energy, mental energy, social energy, and look at what I've got around here. Like, so for example, I've got shave and shower there. Now that is like a real high physical demanding thing. So I've got after shave and shower, I'd have my lunch and relaxation. So on a shave and shower day, I wouldn't be doing like a big social task, like going out or anything, because that would be too much on top of a really physical task. So I might just put some light admin in that day, something that's a bit low energy, low mental demand. Do you see what I mean? So I can already look at the sort of things I put in. Say for example, Wednesday's another example. I'm putting the washing on and hanging the washing out on here. So that's another high energy thing. So on that day, I would just do another low energy thing. It might be a bit of an admin day that I need to do. But then on another day where I've got a PJ day, or I've just got a basic wet wipe day, that might be a day where, you know, if I've woken up and I feel okay, and I've just had a basic wet wipe day and the weather's okay and my energy level's all right, and I've done my score and I've got maybe a 3 or a 4, maybe I've scored an 80 and I've slept okay, maybe my body battery is at 60 or 70, then I might think, you know, I'll take Pip for a wander around the block, you know, or I might think actually I really need to do some emails so I can manage that mental task, you know. So this is how I do this. So I have a basic schedule like this, and then I can see these blocks that are free and what I need to do around them, and I can work out then what tasks go around it. So if an appointment comes up, you know, I can think, okay, the doctor's offered me an appointment. Not that we get doctor's appointments. The doctor's offered me an appointment for Thursday at 2 o'clock. So I can look on here and go 2 o'clock Thursday. Actually, I'd just be having lunch and relaxation. So I'd normally... So what did I say? The doctor offered me an appointment Thursday, 2 o'clock. So Thursday, I'd just be having a wet wipe on that day anyway. So yes, we can do that. We can do that. That's fine. But then, you know, sometimes I'd have to swap this around. But this is basically what I do. So this is a general thing. Now, I've also got another one of these. So I craft these for different things. So now I'm attending this support group. I've got one of these as well for a support group week. So where I'd have the support group written down, and then all this is jigged around differently for that week, because obviously I wouldn't be wanting to do anything on the Wednesday after I've had a support group on the Tuesday, because that involves going out, getting on a bus, going into town, going to the support group, getting back on a bus, coming home. So Wednesday I need deep rest, and even on a Monday before going I need deep rest. So on those weeks I do a completely different schedule for the week. So I have two schedules running. This is a general week, and then I have a support group week. So I alternate between those two now. That's what I'm doing. Does that make sense? So that's how I work it. So yeah, I tend to fill this in mostly I try and do it week to week. So I look at, if I've got any appointments, then I can look at it ahead. Like next week I've got my dragon training again, so I've got that on the Thursday next week, and that's at 10:30. So actually that doesn't really change that too much, so that's okay. So I will look at it for the week ahead and see if any of this needs to be changed around, and if so I will. But otherwise I might just mainly look at this on a day-to-day basis and put these things as needed, unless there's anything absolutely imperative that I need to do, like perhaps at the moment with my finances that need to be done by the 31st of January. Also throughout the day, another tool I use is on my Garmin watch. I use my heart rate monitoring, so throughout the day I've got it on alert if my heart rate goes over a certain level, because even sitting down with my POTS aspect, my orthostatic intolerance issue, even sitting, my heart rate can go above 100. And if it does, I need to just stop, go and lie down for a bit and rest. Another tool I use is something called a Pomodoro app, where I only work for brief periods of time and then have little bits of rest. I have a tendency to just think, oh, I'm fine, and keep going if I'm not careful. I use something called a productivity challenge timer. That is a Pomodoro app, but you can also, if you pay for the professional app, or whatever you call it, the more advanced app, it's not much a year, you can actually put down all your different tasks. And I do this because I like to see how much I'm working on different things and keep a log of them on my Pomodoro, so that I can see if I'm getting more fatigued, I can see how many hours I've done on certain things that week, and I can look at that and think, actually, I did a lot of hours that week editing. Maybe that's why I'm more tired. Do you see what I'm saying? So I've got, I work, say, for 20 minutes, then I'll have a 5-minute break where I might just like lie back here on this amazing chair. This helps, having this fully reclines, which really helps. So yeah, I'll work for 20 minutes. The Pomodoro app will alert me to have a 5-minute break, so I'll just stop. I might even go and lie on the bed just for 5 minutes, then come back, and then it alerts me to have a longer 20-minute break after 4 20-minute work sessions. But then it also keeps a log of how many hours I've been working and on what, so that I can see at the end of every week or however time frame I choose to measure what I've been doing, which also helps me to then look at how I'm feeling, and I can go back and go, maybe I need to adjust how many hours I'm working on different things. Does this make sense? So these are all the different tools, and I will write all of these below as well. Maybe I should write a blog post with this to help make a bit more sense. But yeah, these are all the different tools I use to manage my energy. So as I say, now it's just about 10:30, so I'll work for about an hour now, using this tool of just like 20 minutes work, 5 minutes break, 20 minutes work, 5 minutes break, and then I'll go and have a bit of a longer break unless Pip decides to alert me with his doorbell that he needs some attention. So yeah, so I've actually done an hour and a half. I've got a members video up, yay, check me out. 50 minutes of a members video, and there's a regular video to follow as well. There's just a few bits to finish on those, and I've sorted out a spreadsheet of my finances, and there's just a few transactions that I need to kind of finalize. So I've got 11 days left to finish my finances, so I think if I just chip away the next few days at it, there's not that much to do, so I'm not that worried. So that's lessened my stress levels just looking at it. So now I'm going to do a little bit of meditation for 10 minutes just to reset my nervous system. I always get them the wrong way around, but I've talked a few times, haven't I, about switching from parasympathetic to the sympathetic nervous system to, I can never remember which way around it is. One's your more fight and flight, and one's your rest and digest. So that's when you have chronic illness, you're more often in your kind of fight and flight. It's just your energy system is just broken. Your cells in your body, when you have ME, CFS, do not make energy properly. Your nervous system is usually switched into more fight and flight, so we need to work much harder to bring our nervous system down into the relaxed state. So meditation is really good for this. And I wanted to share what I do in terms of my bedroom, because it's really important for sleep hygiene to make sure that your bedroom stays the place where you sleep, because otherwise it can get a bit complicated, especially when I do a lot of kind of resting. It can be difficult then to kind of differentiate between your bed and your rest. So I never get back into bed during the day. I always make an effort to get up and make the bed, even if I need to rest. So what I do is I get up, I make the bed, and then I make myself a rest bed on top of it, so that at night I then take off my day bed and get back into bed, because then it gives me the sense of there's a difference between my rest bed and my bed, if that makes sense, because it's much better for you to have that difference between a rest bed and bed, because sometimes a sofa isn't comfortable enough, and with Pip downstairs it's often not good enough for me to meditate downstairs, because he'll often come and paw at my face. You know what I mean? So I meditate up here, but yeah, resting on the bed can feel like sleep, and I want sleep to be different. Does that make sense? So yeah, so this is how I set up my bedroom. So I have a giant V-neck pillow. V-neck? V-pillow. Giant V body pillow. It's one of these ones that they use for pregnant women. I got this during lower surgery because it's absolutely great for people that don't like back sleeping, so you get the support, but it supports my entire body, and I use a pillow either side to support my arms because I've got so much pain in my arms. So this supports me completely. And then I've got my blanket, which you probably see me carry everywhere. It's a bit of a soothing thing, because I can't use Lammy that much anymore because Pip tries to eat him. So that's my sleeping space during the day. And this is my eye mask that I use. It's got headphones in here, and it's Bluetooth, so it clicks up to my phone and I can listen to my meditation. So yeah, this is my space during the day. And then this goes back under my computer desk, and it doubles as a footrest for under my computer desk for during the day. So yeah, this is my space at night, and I have some low light candles and stuff that I can put on should I need to, and it's just a nice space. And there's Pip's little bed for during the day. So yeah, it's just, you see what I mean? It just makes a difference. It's not in bed, it's on bed, if you see what I mean. Everything's really nicely supported. You can even, because this is so long, you can even tuck it under your knees and give your knees some extra support. If you don't like your knees very flat, this is what I do, like that. So every bit of me supported, because like halfway into the day, my body can just start to feel a bit like achy and just a bit funny. As you can probably hear, I'm starting to get a bit breathless as well. My heart rate's going up. I start to get a bit breathless, and it's a bit of a sign that I've done a bit too much. Hour and a half was probably a bit much at my desk. So yeah, 10-15 minutes meditation, and then on the sofa with Pip for some lunch, some cuddles, and maybe an audiobook or some TV. But first, meditation. See you in 15. So we've had lunch, did a little bit of training with this one. We just do a little bit, like 10-15 minutes, and we're working on recall at the moment, which involves me just sitting in the lounge, throwing a treat as far as I can into the hallway, and then shouting come, and then he comes running back and I give him another treat. So we did 10 minutes of that. And then he got a licky mat, and I had a wrap with hummus and some halloumi. And now I'm going to chill out and watch some telly for a bit. That's my relaxation now. So the meditation earlier was proper kind of what I call, well, not what I call, what I learned in my ME pacing teaching thing that I still haven't made a video about pillars of rest, like proper rest periods. That was meditation. Now I've had lunch, this is relaxation. And I'm going to, I can't be bothered to listen to my audiobook today. I just want to switch off to the telly. And I'm watching The Traitors at the moment. I'm really into The Traitors. And I'm just finished the first series, so I'm going to start on the second series of Traitors. So we're going to cuddle up, look at him, and watch an episode of that. I'm not feeling too bad, so I'm going to see how I feel after I've watched an episode of this. And I might just have a little bit of another go at my finances. I might just get my laptop and sit down here with this one, because I don't need to be upstairs now. And just have another tap away at my finances. I really do want a shower today, because it's Friday and should be shave and shower day. So it's still quite early in the day, so I might do another kind of like half an hour on my finances after I've watched half an hour of The Traitors. And then have a shave and a shower. So yeah, it's his haircut day tomorrow. He needs a haircut, and he stinks. So yeah, so my haircut today, his haircut tomorrow. Yeah, cuddle time. Well, I spent a bit longer downstairs than I thought I would. It's coming up for 3:30 now, but my heart rate is quite high today. It's kind of sitting around, it's 104 at the moment. So I'm just about to hit my threshold, so just sit still a minute. It's kind of sitting around 80-90, so that says that although I'm feeling alright, I'm not tip top. So I don't really want to do too much today, especially because it's the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, where Chris is home, and I'd like to be able to do stuff with Chris, so no point overdoing it today and ruining the weekend. It's so difficult, because like today is actually probably one of my better days, where, you know, my fatigue's at kind of an okay level. I woke up with a headache, but that's not unusual for me, to be honest. But it's not too bad. My arms hurt, but that's an everyday thing. But it's an okay day. But even on an okay day, I've got to be so careful. You know, it's so tricky managing ME. It really is. Really, really is. There's no such thing as a good day. anymore really when you have ME. You don't ever wake up, well, I don't ever wake up and go, wow, I just feel really wonderfully well. And even if I did, I'd have to be really careful, because if I did loads of stuff because I felt wonderfully well, the nature of ME is you get payback, because the way that your body doesn't make energy properly, so anything you do has a negative payback, like a delayed negative payback in the form of post-exertional malaise or post-exertional symptom I can never say that word. Basically, it's just a increase in fatigue and symptoms after you've done any bit of, well, it's not even exercise, it's just simple things like walking upstairs, making some lunch, sitting at a laptop for half an hour, having a shower. You know, it's tough. So, but I've not done bad today, really. I've finished finalising a couple of vlogs. I had a look at some of my finances and fiddled about with the spreadsheet. So, you know, that's not too bad to get a few bits done today. You know, I haven't been out today, but that was never on today's plan, really. So I am just going to shut my laptop down now and get a shave and a shower, because that's really what I want to save some energy for. So that's done, because that will take the rest of my energy for today. So if I have my shave and shower now, then I can just go back downstairs and chill out with Pip until Chris comes home at about 5:45, 6 o'clock, and then we will just chill out for the evening. And yeah, then we'll have a nice weekend. But yeah, I'll show you a video in a bit of when Chris comes home and how excited Puppy gets. But yeah, shave and shower so that this comes off, because it gets really itchy. Yes, you're treated as semi-naked Finn. So I've had a shave, and now I'm having a rest. This is another one of the joys of ME CFS, is that everything takes forever. With shaving, showering, anything really, any task has to be broken down into manageable chunks, and the more physical it is, the more breaks you need. I sit down to shave anyway, but it still takes a lot of energy, and the trouble is I have this issue with my arms at the moment. Well, at the moment, it's been going on for like 2 years now, where I get pins and needles, numbness in my hands and arms, and the unusual angle of shaving, even with my electric trimmer, because I don't shave, I just trim. Causes a lot anyway, so and I'll need to sit and rest. Showering is one of my biggest energy users. It's why I only do it a couple of times a week. So now I just need to rest for say 10 minutes. I'll do another meditation just to bring all my nervous system back down, and then I'll have a shower. I did used to kind of shave one day and shower the next. I do sometimes still, but it's just a bit of a ball ache, because then you drag it out over days. So this is what I tend to do, just do it on one day, but then I just shave, have a bit of a rest, shower, have a bit of a rest, and get it over with on one day. It's ridiculous, isn't it, really? But that's what we have to do. So 10 minutes rest, and then I'll show you what I do to manage a shower. Are you enjoying this random weird day in a life? Okay, I'm rested. My heart rate is at a nice 67 currently as we speak, so it's nice and low. I'm going to try and keep my voice calm so it doesn't raise. This is one of the most important bits of toolkit during a shower, as is my shower stall. The hardest thing about showering, ME, it's typical that those of us with ME struggle having a shower because it does take a lot of energy. But if you also have orthostatic intolerance and POTS, it's particularly difficult, because standing is what is the biggest issue with orthostatic intolerance. You stand, dizziness, high heart rate is a problem. If you have POTS, this is particularly more of an issue. Heat makes this even a bigger problem. So I use a shower stall. But what I still have to do is keep my arms low. As soon as I raise my arms, my heart rate will escalate. So I have to keep the shower temperature fairly low. I have to stay seated. I have to do everything really slowly, keep my arms low, which means when I wash my hair, I have to keep my head, just put my head low. It just takes forever. So basically, as soon as my heart rate starts to go up, I have to push the shower head off me so the water's off me, just stay still, sit still, and just do that. And if then my heart rate just continues to just go up, I've got to get out, basically. The other reason I shower at the end of the day like this is because I am at risk of just getting really dizzy. I've already fallen out of the shower. I think we're on about twice now. And unfortunately, it's a risk, you know, so I do it at this end of the day so that, you know, God forbid, I do hurt myself. Chris is home soon because it's 4:45 now, so Chris will be home at about 5:30, 5:45. So if the worst case happens and I fall out of the shower, I'm not going to be home alone long before Chris comes home, you know. So that's why, you know, I used to just shower when Chris was here because I feel safer, but I can't always wait until he's here. So I do it when I know he's almost home, so that if I get stuck and need help, if I crash on the floor, I'm not going to be home alone long before he's here. It's dreadful, isn't it? So yeah, I just take my time with this because this is the one that really wipes me out, and it will now wipe me out for the rest of the day, but it doesn't matter because it's the end of the day, so I can just put my feet up on the sofa and crash out. If I do this at the beginning of the day, it will just wipe me out for the rest of the day and I won't be able to do anything. And as I say, I could risk then being on the floor for the rest of the day until someone finds me. So end of the day means it doesn't matter if I'm wiped out and I can't do anything else, and if I do crash and fall on the floor, Chris will soon be home and find me, you know. So yeah, there's no end to this video, you know what's happened. No, it's alright. So yeah, I used to really love my baths, if you remember, but I can't have them now because of the heat. Just makes my heart rate shoot through the roof and makes me feel really dizzy and sick, and it's a really weird dizziness. It's literally like the floor disappears from you. It's like being on a roller coaster, and it's like the whole world tilts backwards or tilts forwards. It's really, really peculiar feeling. So yeah, I'll just show you my shower stool again. So this is the one I use, and it's got a rotating top, so it means I can sit on it and then rotate in and then rotate out, so it makes it a little bit easier. So I will kind of rotate in, wait for my heart rate to settle, and then start the shower. Then when I've finished, I'll turn all the shower off, wait for my heart rate to lower again, and then rotate out, and then just very slowly stand once my heart rate is low enough, and then get to the bedroom, lie on the bed again, and then wait till everything settles down. Because if my heart rate keeps going up, then the sweating starts, and then it's just pointless having a shower because then I just sweat. Afterwards, I'll have loads of water, some electrolytes, which you'll see afterwards, and then, yeah. See what I mean? Living with ME is a fine art. So this is what happens when my heart rate goes up. My Garmin will tell me that that's why it's flashing red, because I'm that many beats over my ideal limit at the moment. I'm at 111 beats a minute. So that needs to come back down before I can get up and walk to the bedroom. I need to stop talking to you, but I just want to update you. A bit hot and flustered now. So I've rested for quite a bit because my heart rate wouldn't come down, and I can feel myself on the verge of a sweat session. Yeah, it's gone back up again. Got a little bit down. This is the trouble. It wasn't too bad in the shower. Highest it went up to was 115, which isn't too bad. That pillow's not working. I mean, sometimes it can go up 130, 140. Didn't have too many high sessions of it. It was kind of like touching on 90, and I was stopping and then it was coming back down. So I've just meditated in here, and it came back down, but then every time I'm sitting back up, it's shooting up to 104, which is what it's sitting at now. So annoying. But then if I push through and just go and move and sit downstairs, it'll just keep doing it. So I'm just going to sit here for a bit longer. This is what's so frustrating. By the way, if you wonder why Pip isn't always up here, he's a poodle. And poodles are notoriously clingy. And what we've worked on with him since he was a pup is alone time so that he doesn't get too Velcro. So he does come up here and chill out with me on the bed and sit with me in the office, but I make sure that he has periods of time where he's alone downstairs, and he's quite happy on his own for a couple of hours. I shared a couple of screenshots earlier, I think. I think I've left a gap where I'm going to share screenshots of him where he's quite happy on his own downstairs, but it took a long time to get to that point. So I keep up with that just so that he can manage that, because if it was up to him, he would not leave my side. So it's good for him, because I'm still currently working on him actually being left alone in the house, which is still a work in progress. But yeah, that's why he's not always with me, so that I can just work on him being happy and independent. Independent poodle. Poodle Pip. Independence puppy. Personal independence puppy. 85. So yeah, that's why he's not always up here. That's why I've not seen him up here in this vlog. I don't tend to leave him alone more than a couple of hours, but it's just good for him. I've got palpitations, on the brink of sweats. I can feel headachy here, which threatens a migraine. I just think, if this is showering, this is what it does. This is why I don't do it very often. So yeah, I think I'm going to slowly sit on my bum and go down the stairs, which is how I have to go down the stairs when it's like this, just in case. I'm going to go and listen to an audiobook downstairs with the pups until Chris comes home. Have some electrolytes. 78. Yeah. See you in a minute. That's a bit better. So I'm downstairs. Some electrolytes. Heart rate is a bit more normal. You're right, Pip. Sweating is there on the edge. I can just kind of feel like a bit of overheating happening. But I'm just going to stay still now until Chris comes home. It's so nice to be clean and trimmed and in fresh pyjamas. And my skill is choosing pyjamas that don't look like pyjamas, because I'm 95% of the time I'm in pyjamas. So I like to try and buy pyjamas that don't look like pyjamas. Look, it's just like leggings and a stripy top that looks like just regular sweatpants or something. So yeah, so it doesn't look like I'm always in pyjamas. The neighbours just think, otherwise they just think, you know, there's the man who's always in pyjamas. Yeah. Shattered now. Shattered. So Daddy Chris will be home soon. But not yet, darling, not yet. So yeah, I'm gonna just lay down here for a bit now. Put my feet up, because I'm still floating at like 85, 95, so that's not good. And just listen to my audiobook and just relax a bit now until Christopher Fur is home, and then we'll have dinner. He'll ring me before he comes home, and I think I might suggest getting pizza tonight. We can have pizza, and I'm going to get Ben and Jerry's as well, and we'll have pizza, Ben and Jerry's. Yeah, our diet isn't too bad normally, but Friday, come on, Friday. Yeah, bit of a chill out evening. Relax. Are you relaxed? Are you okay after your plinky plonky music? What do you got? What are you woofing at? What are you woofing at, Poodle Pip? What do you got? What do you got down there? Is that Santa? Is it Santa? Go on then, give me Santa. That's your yak, that's not Santa, is it? Are you just lying down for a chew? You don't want to play? Well, that's good then, because Daddy really is not up for playing right now. Good boy. Good boy. Puppy cuddles solve everything, don't they, darling? Yes, they do. Daddy smells clean, doesn't he? So it doesn't happen very often, does it, babe? Says, what is that clean smell, Daddy? What is that weird clean smell? Babe? Do you love Daddy when he smells clean? Do you? Do you? Do you? Where you going? Do you not want your yak? No? Where's he off to? Where are you off to? You're not coming to cuddle with Daddy? This Daddy, not Daddy Chris, not yet. So I've had a nice rest with this puppy. Here he is down here, somewhere, causing mischief. Not feeling too bad now. It's really, I meant to say earlier, this Garmin's really good. With it. I've got the Garmin. I swapped from the Fitbit. I need to do a vlog about this. Let me just sit down for a minute while I tell you. I didn't just fart, by the way, that was my stool. The reason I swapped from the Fitbit to the Garmin is because the Fitbit is really good for like fitness stuff. The Garmin is much more, although it's still good for fitness stuff, it's much more geared towards health stats. It does a body battery and it does stress as well. So like when I got out of the shower, both my stress levels were high as well as kind of my heart rate was high. And you can download various apps to use on the Garmin like you can with the Fitbit. And there's one for measuring your heart rate called long COVID pacing, and it gives you this graph. I think I showed you earlier. So it's got 3 graphs on it. The top one's how well you're pacing, your stress levels, and your body battery on there. So my stress has come back down now to 46. It was like 90 after the shower. So that's another good way of, what are you doing, Pip? Of measuring things throughout the day. So I've just got loads of different ways of gauging throughout the day how I'm doing, which is really useful. So Chris has just rang, so he's on his way home now. So I'm just sat on my perching stool, just tidying up the kitchen, waiting for him to come home. I'll show you in a minute how Pip reacts when Daddy Chris comes home. And then we're gonna have dinner and just chill out together tonight. We're not having pizza. Chris is gonna make pesto pasta. So yeah, let me show you how Pip reacts. Firstly, excuse the state of the kitchen, but this is my perching stool. This is what I use to wash up. Pip, come out a minute, darling. So this, it's not perfect because this isn't good height, but so I'll wash up, so I'll sit, and just helps me to save energy, and also when my heart rate goes up, I can sit back down. Right, let me show you Pip. You gonna wait for Daddy Chris? Yeah? Gonna wait for him nicely? Like, good boy. Is that Daddy Chris? Is it? Is that your Daddy Chris?
Hello, dog. Hello. 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 Hello.
Oh, I love how bouncy he is when he sees you.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hey. So it's bedtime now. Oh, excuse me. So we've had a nice evening. Netflix and chill. Nothing overly rock and roll for us, even though it's Friday. We're watching this fairy thing at the moment. Wix Fairy something. This Netflix drama about fairy school. It's been quite good. I always come up before Chris. I can't say out much more past about 11 o'clock. And then I sit here and do my journal for the day. Just kind of offload for the night. Usually I do a bit of planning for the next day, anything I need to get done or off my mind. But it's the weekend, so I don't plan anything, obviously, for the weekend. So I'll just do maybe a couple of gratitude things, any thoughts from the day that I want to write down. I'll also, on my app, my Visible app, track some symptoms throughout the day, how some of my most common symptoms have been, check in on my Garmin, and see how my body battery has fared throughout the day, my stress levels, just out of interest. And then I'll choose a meditation for the night to wind down with, and I always have like a sleepscape on. I like fireside sounds, campfire, so it's like crickets and woodland sounds and fire crackles, and that's what I go to sleep with, and that's my sleep routine. It's good to have good sleep hygiene because that helps. I do tend to get quite broken sleep. Since I've been on the melatonin, that's really helped, but I do still get quite broken sleep. But I find that it's coming upstairs and having a routine of journal and like my wind down routine and then sleeping with this just helps a little bit just to help me sleep a bit better. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you for spending a day with me. Obviously this is not one of my worst days, because if it was I wouldn't even manage to have shared it. So this is just kind of like an average day, so it just gives you a bit of an insight into how I spend my days and how I manage my ME and the sort of things I come up against. So yeah, I hope it has been useful, and thank you very much for spending a day with me. And it's night night from me.
So talking